After nearly 20 hours on the run, law enforcement officials have captured a man accused of 5 murders in Kansas City and Montgomery County. Good morning. Thanks for joining us this morning. Today is Wednesday, March 9th. I'm Dick Preston. As KRCG 13 first reported, the manhunt for a suspected murderer in east central Missouri is over. Law enforcement captured 40-year-old Pablo Serrano Vitorino late last night. We begin our team coverage this morning with KRCG 13's Ashley Zavala, who joins us live from Montgomery County with the latest details. Ashley?
Dick, after a 17-hour manhunt here in Montgomery County, officers now have Pablo Serrano Vitorino in custody. They said they found him in this ditch right behind me, right by the light pole. They said they recovered a rifle at the scene. At around midnight, a citizen called 911 after being approached in this area by a suspect with a gun, according to the Missouri State Highway Patrol. Just after 12:15 this morning, officers said they arrested Serrano Vitorino without incident.
Anytime you have an individual that is possibly responsible for 5 homicides, that's a very serious incident, and we take it seriously. So we're very fortunate, and we're glad for the community support, and we're able to take him into custody.
Serrano Vitorino is accused of killing 4 people in Kansas City, Kansas, 1 person in New Florence. U.S. Immigration confirms he is also an illegal immigrant from Mexico. But this morning, he's an inmate at the Montgomery County Jail. Reporting live in New Florence, Ashley Zavala, KRCG 13.
Well, Serrano Vitorino had been on the run since a quadruple homicide Monday night in the Kansas City area, and we continue our team coverage this morning with KRCG's Ryan Rumbaugh, who joins us live in Montgomery County and has a rundown of that alleged crime spree. Ryan?
Dick, Serrano Vitorino's run from law enforcement spanned just over 24 hours. Like Ashley said, he was captured here just after midnight, and now law enforcement officials in Kansas and here in mid-Missouri have a lot more work to do.
It all started Monday night in Kansas City, Kansas. Around 11 p.m., officers were dispatched to a home for reports of a shooting. When they arrived, they found 3 men in their 30s dead from apparent gunshot wounds. A 4th man was taken to the hospital, where he later died. Police say the suspect, 40-year-old Pablo Antonio Serrano Vitorino, lives next door to where the shootings happened. He was nowhere to be found. Early Tuesday morning, an off-duty deputy located Serrano Vitorino's red Dodge Ram pickup over 170 miles away, abandoned along I-70 in Montgomery County. Around the same time, officers were dispatched to a nearby New Florence home for reports of a shooting. The homeowner, 49-year-old Randy Nordman, was found shot to death. The Missouri State Highway Patrol said a witness reported seeing the shooter leave on foot. Because Serrano Vitorino's truck was found so close to the crime scene, officials named him the prime suspect in that homicide as well.
The truck that was located, and then also the crime scene we're working now where the 49-year-old was killed, that they're connected.
With the threat of Serrano Vitorino in the area, Montgomery County schools were placed on lockdown.
We have 2 officers off to my left behind me on the north end of the property with long-range rifles and binoculars and scopes. At the north end of the property to my right, we have another officer down there. They are blocking both entrances and exit to the property and have guaranteed me that nobody will set foot on the property.
The lockdown was lifted just before 4 o'clock and students were released to their parents.
The way the police are blanketed in the parking lot here is a great comfort. It's like almost a military situation.
Law enforcement continued the search for Serrano Vitorino well into the night.
Now, we talked to Montgomery County schools yesterday, and they said if the suspect was captured, they would resume school as normal today. Now, police are left to find out what his motivation was behind possibly killing 5 people. Reporting live in New Florence, Ryan Rumbaugh, KRCG 13 News.
Good evening. As KRCG 13 first reported, the search in Montgomery County for a man suspected of murdering 5 people is over tonight.
State troopers captured 40-year-old Pablo Serrano Vitorino shortly after midnight. He made his first court appearance at the Montgomery County Courthouse.
KRCG 13's Mark Slavitt starts our team coverage. He's been on the scene from the beginning of the search and joins us live.
Kermit Megan Serrano Vitorino was charged with first-degree murder in the shooting death of 49-year-old Randy Nordman of New Florence. I'm standing in the exact spot where troopers brought Serrano Vitorino into custody without incident after a 17-hour manhunt here in Montgomery County. Two troopers found the suspect wet from rain and lying in a ditch near the Highway 19 exit on Interstate 70. Court documents obtained by KRCG show Serrano Vitorino used an AK-47 rifle to murder Nordman in New Florence and 4 other people in Kansas City, Kansas. Court documents did not reveal a motive for the 5 murders. Federal immigration officials confirm Serrano Vitorino is an illegal immigrant from Mexico. He's being held at the Montgomery County Jail with a bond set at $2 million for the quadruple homicide in the Kansas City area.
That's a very serious incident, and we take it seriously. So we're very fortunate, and we're glad for the community support, and we're able to take him into custody.
Vitorino did not enter a plea on the murder charge he faces here in Montgomery County. He was granted a public defender, and his preliminary hearing is set for April 28th at 1:30 at the Montgomery County Courthouse. Reporting live in Montgomery County, Mark Slavitt, KRCG 13.
Families in 2 states tonight are living through a nightmare filled with questions and broken hearts. 4 people are dead in Kansas City, Kansas, and their survivors face futures of uncertainty.
The fatal drama began around 11 p.m. Monday at a home in KCK where 4 people were shot to death, one of whom managed to call police before he died. The dead include brothers. Clint Harder leaves a 2-year-old daughter and a wife who is 8 months pregnant.
All I ask is for prayers. That's all I want from everybody. I appreciate everything everyone's doing for us.
Authorities have disclosed no motive for the killings, and the victims' family members now struggle to understand the senseless deaths.
He's amazing, loving, caring, and he's always there.
Murder victim Michael Capps lived next door to Pablo Antonio Serrano Vitorino. Capps also leaves a family to fend for themselves.
He had 2 small boys that are going to be left without a father.
Through their grief, the Kansas families now seek justice for the lives lost.
My condolences go to all the rest of the families and to the victim in Missouri.
We're learning more tonight about the New Florence man who was murdered.
KRCG 13's Elizabeth Hoffman has an exclusive interview with a friend of Randy Nordman.
New Florence is mourning over the loss of Randy Nordman. Randy had a love for life, his family, and also his hobby, remote control cars. Randy and his wife Julie were in the process of opening an RC track on their property. Longtime friend Chadlin Andrews raced remote control cars with Randy. He said his friend was nothing short of a wonderful man.
We shook hands and we were friends right then. And he was always willing to give you the shirt off his back, go the extra mile, do anything that would help somebody. He's never said no. I've never heard him say no of anything I've ever asked. You know, Randy, could you be here at 5? You know, and he'd be like, man, I get off work at 5, I'll be there at 5:30. Like, I'll see you at 5:30. And he was there, you know. He never let you down.
Randy welcomed everyone to his track with open arms.
He wanted to give kids a chance to really, you know, find out what this hobby's about and provide a place for people to have fun.
He said Randy spent a lot of his time working on the track.
You know, anytime I talked to him, he was on a skid loader or shoveling gravel or moving dirt or, you know, trying to get that place set up out there at New Florence. He was just trying to get it on the map.
Chadlin said he'll miss his friend's love for remote control cars, but also the love he showed for his wife.
I miss seeing Julie and Randy together because you could tell when they were together they were a team. The RC community stands behind Randy because he stood behind us.
In New Florence, Elizabeth Hoffman, KRCG 13.
The manhunt ends for the man accused of killing 5 people in 2 states. As KRCG 13 first reported, the man wanted for the murder of those 5 people is in jail tonight.
KRCG 13's Ashley Zavala starts our team coverage live from the scene of the arrest in New Florence.
Kermit and Megan, we watched officers early this morning arrest Pablo Serrano Vitorino in this ditch by the light pole behind me along the I-70 outer road. Officers said they were also able to recover the AK-47 he apparently used in the shooting deaths of 5 people. First thing this morning, the Montgomery County Prosecutor's Office charged Serrano Vitorino with murder, burglary, and armed criminal action. According to a probable cause statement, at 7 a.m. Tuesday, Serrano Vitorino got into a physical confrontation with Randy Nordman at a home in New Florence. While the victim's wife called 911, she said she heard a single gunshot and then apparently saw Serrano Vitorino taking off on foot. Officials told us they had no reason to believe the alleged killer knew the victim. Serrano Vitorino has also been charged in the killings of 4 Kansas City, Kansas men. Officers spent 17 hours Tuesday looking for the alleged murderer.
Us as law enforcement, we're very relieved that it ended the way it did, and I know a lot of the citizens are breathing a sigh of relief also. You know, we have 5 people that have been killed, and certainly we did not want any more injuries. We didn't want any more deaths.
Serrano Vitorino is in the Montgomery County Jail without bond tonight. Now, federal investigators say they're trying to figure out how the illegal Mexican immigrant got his hands on an assault-style rifle that he apparently used in the murders.